Hi everyone, Marcus here from uTu. In terms of lesson two, there isn't really too much to show on the code side here. I mean, this is really kind of about the philosophy, the architecture. Just to point out a couple of things that are present within kind of this project folder. Again, with every node project, you kind of look for a package .json. In this case, we've kind of pre-done all this, so all the requirements, all of the external npm packages that are being used to build this up are already included, so you don't have to worry about that. One thing I will point out as we start to drill into the individual lessons, a real important line is this start line down here. Now, the way that I've kind of structured this is every time that you want to start to activate and get into a lesson or compile it, you're going to need to come into the start line and change this little part right here that references the folder of one of the given lessons. So by the time, for example, we get up to lesson 7, if we want to run that, we'd have to put in lesson 07, and that is the tracking lesson. So it would look like that, and we'd go ahead and save that. Another thing I'll talk about under the here with the source, we've come in and in this lesson started up a bit of one of the first pieces that we'll look at is building out kind of your NLP file. Using this as a learning mechanism just to kind of consolidate the idea of when we're thinking about intents and utterances, structuring those things to kind of link back up to the code. So right now we don't have too much here, just kind of basically the stub of what will come. The three different pieces in the context of this being the system ones, these are the default standard type intents that every bot should have, start, help, and a stop. Specific to the bot that we'll be building for Maven in this instance, we also have a boards and clips. These are going to be two rough functional areas that they have that we'll be trying to build capabilities out around. One other thing I will draw your attention to for this project is while you're operating on a local machine, local dev, you're going to need to set up a .env file. Here I've opened up the env.example to kind of run through what some of the different keys that you'll need to set up. Now, some of these we won't get to until later lessons in terms of where you can actually, worry about what is your Facebook token or whatever. We'll cover that later. One of the early ones to look at will be the subdomain, and in this case, it's a name that you can make up that will be used for what will be called your local tunnel. So here would be like Marcus. And it's just intended to be a unique name. It's only going to be used locally, so there's really no harm in playing around with that a little bit. But you do want to set something up because one thing, if it's not unique and there's somebody else out in the world that happens to be going through the exercise at the same time as you may be getting some wonky results because the two of you could be trying to compete for the same name.